Included in that is the SALT cap. So this is one of those deductions that wasn't eliminated, but it was reduced. So in the old days, if you lived in a state where you had high taxes, then you were able to deduct those as part of your itemized deductions. If you're a high income earner, so we've got people in New York who earn $400,000 on payroll, and so their income tax, their state and local income tax is enormous, right? Like tens of thousands of dollars, plus property taxes. So whatever goes in that chunk of your itemized deductions has been limited to $10,000 ever since 2017. And some states have implemented workarounds if you run your own company with pass-through tax payments and things like that. But still, it's a major problem. And people in these high tax areas have been very upset about it for the last 10 years, rightfully. And here they're saying adjusting the SALT cap. So SALT is state and local tax. Adjusting does not mean eliminating. Okay. What we're likely to see here is the cap going from 10,000 to some higher number. Higher is better, incorporates more people, but eliminating the cap altogether so you could fully deduct it like we used to be able to would be better, but we'll see what that number comes in as. That is going to be a major point of negotiation because most of those high tax states are Democrat states, right? That's why the original Tax Cut and Jobs Act was like a political masterpiece because it punished the people who were voting Democrat, and the Republicans were passing the legislation with no Democrat support at all. And so it was basically punishing Democrats to pay for the benefits that go to the Republican base. You know, you got to hand it to them. Politically, that was amazing. For the people on the receiving end of that, obviously, huge punishment. So they're trying to adjust that punishment. We'll see how that number shakes out over the next month or two or three. The next two, the ending tax breaks for billionaire sports team owners and closing the carried interest loophole. These are popular issues or populist issues where you could say, hey, let's not give those fat cats special treatment. But in terms of actual revenue, these are like non issues, right? It's like a rounding error on tax revenue. So basically, the carried interest loophole is an interesting one. It basically, if you are a hedge fund operator, then the profits that you make get capital gains treatment instead of ordinary income treatment. Okay, debatable as to the historical origin of that and like why it's important or not, but it doesn't especially matter for everyday people, and it's not going to change the federal budget at all. Ending tax breaks for billionaire sports team owners, same kind of thing. Did you know that the NFL is a nonprofit organization? It's wild. People spending thousands of dollars on Super Bowl tickets and TV contracts worth billions. But yeah, it's a nonprofit, sure. We'll see how that all gets shaken out, but again, not a significant factor in taxes or anything like that. And then the last one, tax cuts for made in America projects. That's a vague statement, and we'll see if it's probably going to be some sort of manufacturing credit where if you invest in tools and equipment and people and that kind of thing, you'll get some tax breaks there. I imagine it will be somewhat similar to the R&D credit or the credit for increasing research activities, the work opportunity credit, but we'll see. Obviously, the focus here is to increase American manufacturing as opposed to foreign manufacturing. And this kind of goes hand in hand with the whole tariff argument. So if there are higher tariffs, that's going to increase prices of everything that's imported. And ideally, you would offset that by more domestic products that don't have tariffs because they're domestic. We'll see how that all shakes out. But the Trump announcement from last week and my expectations on how that's all going to shake out.